from Nate. It says, curious where all of you stand on all Marines are evil. This includes Kobe, Fuji, Smoker, etc. I don't believe all Marines are evil.
How could you believe all the Marines are evil?
Their point is that they're willing to work for this nebulous evil organization on some degree. People who say all cops are evil or all cops are bad.
It's a tough conversation.
Yeah. No, I understand that. If you know the world government is evil, you choose to work for them. If they believe, no, we could change it from the inside, how do you change it? Dragon chose to change it from the outside. He left the Marines to do so. You legit have a rebel in the world government in GARP. Part of their job is to serve the world government. And GARP is literally choosing not to do so. I'm not protecting them.
Right.
I'm not going to protect them at all.
Well, I agree with some of what you're saying. It's deeper than that because there's a lot of them that aren't actively trying to make change in the Marines, but they're fighting against the pirates that are out there. Because I didn't realize so many people have this view, but like maybe Oda hasn't done a good enough job to show you the average evil nature of the pirates of the One Piece world. The Straw Hats are one of the very rare exceptions. Most pirates would do what the Yako do, the evil enslaving and taking and looting and pillaging and all the things that we see from the worst pirates. They would do that. The average pirate does those things just on a town-to-town, person-to-person basis. So the Marines, as an existence, their job is to stop that from happening. If you want to be a part of an organization that's going to prevent that, you have to then deal with the fact that the other sides of it is that they work for the world government and this higher class of people. Some people aren't willing to become outlaws themselves, like the revolutionaries, to try to make other more meaningful change. So you go into this, okay, I'll be a Marine because it's the best option available to me. There's also other people that are just actually evil in the Marines. So to me, I don't believe you can put a wide blanket on anybody in the Marines in that way. If you want to say being a part of these organizations and not actively trying to make change means that you're evil, that gets into the all man is evil on some degree. I don't think that's the point of the conversation. To me anyway, no, I don't think all Marines are evil. I do believe that there are evil Marines, and being a Marine doesn't innately make you an evil person because you're part of a terrible organization.
And if you use the resources that they're giving you for good, does that make you evil?
The reason why Kobe joined the Marines and Garp and other people is to carry out justice. The Marines are the only authority in One Piece that actually carry out justice. While people obviously have their own agenda, their own idea of justice, that's not actual real justice or pure justice, people actually have their own view of justice. And they use that power to influence to do some good if they can. We have people like Fujitora, Kobe, and Smoker who believe in justice and what is doing what is right. And the only system that they could use and work with is the world government. If they had another system that they could go to that doesn't involve all that what the world government brings, of course they would join that. How well would it work for them? I want to start carrying out my own justice in my own way. Even though you could be right and you're doing a better job, it's not going to last long. You don't have the resources, you don't have the funds, you don't have the power, you're alone. Unless you get a small group following, but you're just going to be another dragon. And how long that's going to last? The world government can take you out. It took years and years to get to where Dragon's at. And he's still chipping at the surface of what the world government has established. You have to work what you got right now. And if you could change things inside or become a revolutionary, that's your two options. You have to start somewhere.
I think working for an evil organization doesn't automatically make you evil, but staying silent or benefiting from it while knowing the truth can lead you down the wrong path. And I think it really matters the choices you make afterwards. Knowing that truth will define your moral standing. It's like why I get on Garp so bad, because Garp knows the truth. He decided not to make any change, but instead decided to stay within it and complain about it. Does it make people like Kobe evil? I do not think that Kobe knows the entire truth, therefore he doesn't have any choice to make. I think the furthest he's ever gone in knowing the truth is that Akainu ended up murking some Marines. I think people like Sengoku, who literally stood where the Gorosei were at one point, letting the world know that an era of babies were to be massacred on the chance it could be the Pirate King's kid, was an evil act, and any Marines who knew of it and decided to stay with the world government and not change the inside of the Marines and benefited from it also should receive that stamp of disapproval of saying that they're good people. But I think sometimes too it goes into the point of where it's usually survival versus obligation. Just being able to survive. Most people who join the Marines are not looking for a way to change the world, but they're looking for a way just to survive in the world. They don't have a place because their kingdom, it was too affected by heavenly tributes and crime, and it led to them living a bad life. So they found refuge in being with the world government or the Marines or becoming, this happens in real life too. Or they literally took the Kobe route where we're saying, hey, I'm going to go to the Marines, but I'm also going to change the Marines because of what I've seen from Marines when I was first experiencing them. And I think that's a huge difference too in where you gauge a certain person while they're in an organization. And then we have the Aokiji versus Akainu fight. Aokiji doesn't like the way the world government will turn out, therefore he couldn't change the inside, so he left it. You can determine, does that make him a good person for leaving people across the world without somebody in the organization to now change it? The conversation could get really, really deep, but it really depends on your intent and also your circumstances. The choices you make afterwards of learning the truth while being in this organization. And that happens with any organization. If you find something being done wrongfully so, and you're not willing to challenge it and change it, then that falls upon you and your morality.